Hello everybody, happy Thursday afternoon. Hope yours is going well, and we've got another Seahawks video to get to today. First, I want to give a shout out to the 1,780 subscribers to the channel. If you guys were not watching my videos, I would not be making them. Special tip of the cap goes to the 20 channel members, including elite member HaWKxXA. Alright, quick intro, we're jumping right in. The road to 150. I know this is the one that generally people get the most excited for, so we're going to jump right into it. Where are we after 8 games? We are halfway through the season. How do things look for the Seahawks pass rush? Well, in a broad sense, we watched that game against Buffalo on Sunday, and we know we actually had a little bit of a breakthrough. We had 7 sacks. We had other successful pressures, but did it actually add up to anything meaningful at the end of the game? No. We gave up 44 points. Carroll's never given up that many points in his career as a Seahawks head coach. But let's try to go ahead and evaluate the pass rush in a vacuum, because you want to make sure you're pinpointing the right people when you're criticizing your defense. And if you guys have been in my streams the last few days, you know I've been saying it's time to stop blaming the players. We need to start putting this on the coaches. So let's see how the players are doing in terms of their ability to get some pressure on opposing QBs. So we're going to start at the top with Rasheem Green, and he got back on the field on Sunday against Buffalo and actually had an impact, which I didn't necessarily see watching the game live, but going back and looking at stuff, I think Rasheem Green may have had more of a positive impact than I thought. He got credited with 2 pressures against the Bills to bring his season total up to 3. So if he can play at that level for the rest of the season, maybe we have something, but his season's already kind of a wreck, having missed 6 of the first 8 games. So unfortunate, but he can redeem himself somewhat if he starts playing well to close out the season. Benson Mayowa did not play against Buffalo. His number did not change. L.J. Collier did not change from last week. He did not have any pressures against the Bills. And with each game that goes by, it becomes more and more clear that Collier, while he may end up being a capable NFL player, is not worth anywhere near that first-round pick that we spent. So, yeah. I had low expectations, and he did meet those expectations, but he didn't meet the expectations that the team had on him when they used that draft pick on him. All right, Alton Robinson, nothing new against the Bills. Demontre Morris suspended until the end of the season, so nothing from him. We did have a little bit of a shining star amid all the crap against Buffalo on defense in the form of Jarran Reed. He picked up 3 pressures against Buffalo, and maybe the most important thing is that he got home on those pressures. He brought down Josh Allen 2.5 times, 2.5 sacks to his credit, so when he got pressure, he made it count. So very good game from Jarran Reed. If he can keep that up the whole rest of the season, we're not going to have that much to complain about when it comes to him, but we need to see some consistency from him. We are paying him like he's an elite defensive tackle. He needs to perform like an elite defensive tackle. So this was a step in the right direction. I took him off the red, but still needs to pick it up even more over the second half of the season if he wants to earn that contract that he currently is sitting on for 2021. Poona Ford was credited with no new pressures against Buffalo, according to Pro Football Reference, but I am pretty sure he had at least one that he, for some reason, did not get credited for from PFR. So you can call this 4 if you want to. I'm going to leave it at 3 because I'm trying to stick to what Pro Football Reference is saying, but I feel like he got a pressure on one of the Jarran Reed sacks. So either way you slice it, Poona is doing what we can reasonably expect from him, given that he is a run-stuffing defensive tackle. Yeah, happy with what Poona Ford's doing, especially given the money he's making. Brian Monet, nothing new, and he's now hurt. Darrell Taylor, nothing new because he didn't play. Shaquem Griffin, where'd he go? After that Dallas game, I heard a lot of people buzzing about him. We haven't seen him make a play since, I don't think. Maybe he made one decent play against Miami, but back on the milk carton for Shaquem Griffin. He's now not anywhere close to meeting the expectations that I had for him this year when he got called up, so yeah. Anthony Rush, not on the team. Jonathan Bullard, he played a little bit against Buffalo, nothing new from him. And Carlos Dunlap, so this is a massive introduction to this team, and I need to talk about this for a minute. When I was thinking about what I could reasonably expect from Dunlap after we acquired him, I was thinking, 9 games. He's a really good player. He had more than 2 pressures a game last year for the Bengals. He was playing poorly this year because he was forced to move positions. So after thinking about it, I said, okay, I'll say 12. I'm going to say he's going to get 12 pressures in 9 games. He got 1 against Buffalo. It did result in a sack, so he made it count. Technically, he's not on pace, but it's nothing that I'm concerned about. We need to see what Dunlap can bring as the season goes on. So, Carlos, we need to see more than a pressure a game from him going forward. But pretty good start to his Seattle career. And that brings us to the end of the defensive line. So through 8 games, half the season, we have 55 pressures, which means we are slightly behind pace. And the reasons why we're behind pace are mostly, almost entirely actually, because Rasheem Green only played in 2 games and Jaron Reed is underperforming expectations. We are getting some overperformances from guys like Collier and Alton Robinson, but it's not being canceled out. And through 8 games, I can honestly say this is not good enough from the defensive line. So those guys do need to get better. And if you're criticizing these players a little bit, I get that. I still say we need to focus on the coaches because they're the ones responsible for this more than the players, in my estimation. We can't keep swapping out these players every single year and saying it's all because of the players. Eventually, you need to look at something else. But yeah, this defensive line has underperformed a little bit through 8 games. All right, linebackers. Bobby picked up a pressure, so he is now at 9. KJ Wright picked up a pressure against the Bills, so he's gotten to 1 through the first 8 games. We really need to stop blitzing KJ Wright, by the way. I cringe every time we send him on the blitz because I swear it never works, but it finally kind of worked a little bit against Buffalo, so that's cool. Jordan Brooks, nothing new. Barton, nothing new. BBK doesn't play defense. And that gets us to the end of linebackers. So this is actually somewhat impressive, and I do want to give the linebackers on this team a little bit of credit. We are on pace to meet my overall positional expectations for 2020, despite losing Bruce Irvin, who I thought was going to get most of the pressures in this linebacking core. So, they're holding it down, and I got to give some credit to Bobby Wagner for at least contributing in this regard. He is getting to the QB a good amount this year. There's a lot of problems I have with his game outside of rushing the passer, but he's doing that, I guess. All right, now we're moving on to cornerback, and this is going to be real quick because nothing new. Shaq, nothing, didn't play. Dunbar, he couldn't cover. What makes you think he's suddenly going to learn how to blitz on a day when he can't even cover? Trey Flowers, nothing. Amadi not playing. Nico Thorpe not playing. DJ Reed, nothing. Nothing new from the cornerbacks. We did get a couple snaps from a few other players like Lyndon Stevens and Demarius Randall, but they didn't get pressures either, so nothing new from the cornerbacks. Safety. We're going to wrap things up with a look at the safeties real quick. Jamal Adams, in his return game, did have an impact in the pass rush. He picked up 3 pressures against the Bills to get his season total to 10, which in 4 games. The dude has played 4 games and he has 10 pressures as a safety, which I don't know if I'm supposed to be happy about that. I don't know if I'm supposed to be kind of terrified of it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be coming down on the defensive play calling for having him blitz that much. I don't know. But thank God we have him, I guess, because if we don't have Jamal getting to the QB, we really don't have anything. And we've been talking about Jamal Adams a lot in my chats recently, and people keep saying, well, he sucks in coverage. We spent all these draft picks on a safety who can't cover. I'm telling you guys, Jamal Adams can cover. Yeah, and I'm going to reiterate this. Look at our whole defense. You notice how everybody on this team has suddenly forgotten how to cover? Everybody on this defense has suddenly gone to hell in coverage, except for, I guess, KJ Wright and to a certain extent Bobby Wagner, but suddenly none of our corners can cover, our safeties can't cover. That includes Quandre Diggs, who covered fine in Detroit. Jamal Adams covered fine in New York. Quentin Dunbar was able to cover fine in Washington, and now none of these guys can play. Are we going to really just say it's because of the players, or is it because of the coaching and the scheme that are putting them in bad situations? So That's really going to be my focus going forward with this team. This is not. I don't think we can put this on the players over and over again. We need to start putting this on the coaching. But anyway, Jamal Adams did pick up 3 pressures. I'm not saying he played an amazing game against Buffalo. He made mistakes. And I'm not saying that trade we made with New York was good, because right now we made a monster trade to improve our defense, and our defense is one of the worst in NFL history. That's a deal breaker right then and there, but it's not on Jamal Adams, I don't think. I don't understand that. Jamal Adams proved in New York that he knew how to cover very well. Yeah, so other than that, nothing new from the safety positions. So we have 13 total safety pressures through 8 games, which is well above my expectations, and that gets us to our season total through 8 games of 84, which puts us on pace for 168. Another game in Buffalo where we faced 45 pass dropbacks. Josh Allen had, I think, 38 pass attempts, and he got sacked 7 times. So 45 attempts to throw the ball for the Bills. And in fairness, this time around we got okay pressure. We did. And I do want to give the team a little bit of credit for at least finding a way to do something there, but we all saw it didn't mean a damn thing. And I think the main problem we have as a defense right now is that when we don't get pressure, because you're not going to get pressure on every single play, when we don't get pressure, we have nothing else we can do. The cornerbacks can't make plays on the ball. The safeties can't make plays on the ball. The linebackers can't make plays on the ball. I don't think we had a single pass defensed against the Bills in a game where they threw the ball 45 times. That's embarrassing. So somehow, some way, we found another friggin' way to have a miserable day on defense, even though the pass rush actually did kind of show up. So, once again, if we're going to face this many pass attempts, we might need closer to 250 pressures. 150 is not cutting it if we're going to face this many attempts, but that's a question for another time. So that's my evaluation of the pass rush through 8 games. The individual players are doing their thing, but the unit as a whole is just simply not performing. And I can't continue to put it on the players, guys. I really think this is a coaching thing. So with that, I'm going to go and get out of here. Peace out, go Hawks. There will be a video game stream tonight. Probably Dragon Quest, maybe Minecraft. I'm not sure yet. But see you guys then, and go Hawks.